The Department of Justice has long recognized that in certain extraordinary cases, it is in the public interest to appoint a special prosecutor to independently manage an investigation and prosecution. Based on recent developments, including the former president's announcement that he is a candidate for president in the next election, and the sitting president's stated intention to be a candidate as well, I have concluded that it is in the public interest to appoint a special counsel.
Okay, in Washington, a special counsel will now oversee criminal investigations of former President Donald Trump. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland has appointed Jack Smith, a war crimes prosecutor, to be responsible for the Justice Department's investigations into the former president. It comes just days after Trump announced his plans to run once again for president. Benji Heyer is in Washington. So, Benji, what was the rationale given behind this special counsel appointment?
We heard it there from Merrick Garland, really. It is to ensure the integrity of the impartiality of this investigation. What you have to think about here is the circumstances under which this announcement has been made. As you said, Donald Trump just days ago announcing his presidential bid. Merrick Garland is a political nominee, appointee by Joe Biden. There's no suggestion that Merrick Garland wouldn't have continued with these investigations with, as he quotes, indisputably guided by facts and law. But ultimately, what this decision does is limit the potential for critics to suggest any potential for conflict of interest given Merrick Garland's position. And so by having the investigation being taken over, in a sense, by an outsider, a special counsel, what that does is allow the Department of Justice to say that this will continue to be an independent investigation in light of Mr. Trump's bid for the White House again. Now, what this could do ultimately is delay proceedings. Donald Trump, therefore, will be able to continue with his presidential campaign, continue to, in his words, say that this is some sort of political witch hunt. But this is still a very serious outcome for Donald Trump and his allies, because what it shows is that there is a potential or sufficient evidence for the Department of Justice to prosecute. Otherwise, why go to the lengths that they have to ensure that this investigation has complete independence and impartiality?
Right, a very serious development, as you say, with a very serious person now in the job. What can you tell us about the prosecutor, Jack Smith?
Well, to quote Merrick Garland, who in his press conference was announcing the name of this person that I think most people in Washington, D.C. wouldn't have ever come across before, he says Smith has built the reputation as an impartial and determined prosecutor, again, stressing that element of impartiality, and then listing his achievements as someone that worked for the Department of Justice for many years, that was an attorney during parts of the Obama administration, and most recently working in The Hague as a prosecutor in trials of war crimes suspects. So a man that Merrick Garland, the Attorney Justice, sees as someone that can be trusted, someone with experience, someone who has not yet been involved in this investigation. He's also put out a statement, Jack Smith himself, to say he wants to conduct the investigations and the prosecutions that may result with them independently, again, stressing that word independent, and will exercise his judgment and move those investigations forward thoroughly to whatever the outcome can be. Ultimately, though, you have to remember this, which is he is the third counsel to investigate Donald Trump in the space of 5 years. Most famously, Robert Mueller was the one that made headlines in that Russia investigation, and none led to any sort of criminal charges. Therefore, all eyes will be on whether this one is an exception to that.
Okay, Benji, great stuff. That's Benji Heyer in Washington, D.C.